Today I'm going to show you how to use some leftover pizza dough to make some delicious garlic knots in your Blackstone pizza oven. So I'm going to start by rolling out a dough ball on a floured surface. I'm using a leftover Aldi pizza dough ball here. These are only like $1 at Aldi if you want some good quick pizza dough. They're nice and fresh, sold in single balls like this. So I'm going to roll this out. I'm just going to flatten it out on a floured surface, and I'm going to actually use a rolling pin to roll it out as flat as I can get it. Then once it's nice and flat, I'm going to take a pizza cutter or a knife, and I'm going to cut this into strips. We just want some fairly thick strips going here. We want them to be about 1 inch thick, maybe 1.5 inches. Get as many strips as you can. It's okay if you get onto the end and they're not as long as the others, they'll still work. Then we're going to take each one of these strips, we're going to pick them up, and then we're just going to literally tie them into a knot. And it really doesn't matter how tight your knot is or how perfect it is. I just do a basic quick knot here, and then I just kind of tuck the rest of it all under and then place it in the cast iron deep dish pan that I have here for my Blackstone pizza oven. And I'm going to do each one of these strips. I'm going to end up with about 9 garlic knots here. I'm not putting them super close together. You could put them closer together. I just left some space between them to let them get nice and brown on all sides. Once you have all of your strips of pizza dough folded into knots and put in your pan, it's time to go ahead and preheat your pizza oven. I'm not going to let this pizza oven get too hot. I'm going to let it get just warmed up enough, and then I'm going to turn the heat down to low because I want these to cook all the way through, and I want them to just get lightly browned. We're going to undercook them just a little bit because they are going to go back in the pizza oven after we pull them out. While those are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and make my garlic butter mixture. So I'm just going to take a stick of butter and I'm going to microwave that until it melts. And then while that's melting in the microwave, I'm going to go ahead and shred up some fresh Parmesan cheese. Now that I have that melted butter, I'm going to just throw in a couple heaping tablespoons of some garlic here. We're going to mix that up into that butter, let that garlic flavor start to mix up into that butter. I'm also going to put in quite a bit of garlic salt. This will add a little bit of saltiness that you kind of need with these, and it's going to give it a little bit of color with that green in there, and it will increase that garlic flavor. Then I'm going to finish this off with just using a sprinkling of my Parmesan cheese here in the butter mixture. I'm going to reserve a lot of this Parmesan cheese as a topping for later, but I'm going to mix a little bit of it in here with the butter. Then, when you notice the garlic knots are about lightly brown, not quite cooked all the way, not quite all the way brown, we're going to go ahead and pull those out. Now these need to go back in and to finish cooking. They're not quite done, but I want to get them topped with this garlic butter mixture. So I'm going to pull them out of the oven, and I'm going to go ahead and toss each one into that bowl of melted butter with garlic and Parmesan, and I'm just going to give those a good toss in that bowl to get them nicely coated on all sides so that they're completely covered in that butter mixture. Once you're pretty satisfied with them being covered on all sides, I'm going to go ahead and transfer these back into my pizza pan. I'm going to put them a little closer together this time, because I'm going to go back behind after putting them in this pizza pan and pour that garlic butter mixture all over the top of them, just to get all that buttery and garlicky goodness all over them. Now it's time to put them back in the pizza oven and let them finish cooking. They don't need much longer to cook, but they do need a little bit of time. We also don't want to burn that butter on them. But them cooking this extra little bit with the butter allows that buttery flavor to just kind of seep into the garlic knots a little bit and kind of permeate the garlic knots. Look how cheesy and buttery these look. They look delicious. So once the garlic knots are done, I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. And I'm gonna take the last of that Parmesan cheese that I had reserved, and I'm gonna just put a nice sprinkling of that all across the top of these, just a little bit more cheese all over. They're gonna be nice and hot, so that cheese is just gonna melt right into the top of them there. And then that's basically it. You've got some nice garlic knots, use leftover pizza dough. It's a nice thing to use your leftover pizza dough for. They're nice and easy, doesn't take very long to cook, makes a great appetizer when you're having a good pizza night or something. You guys should give these a try. Let me know if you do in the comments. What other things have you guys made with your leftover pizza dough? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.